Ukrainian President Zelensky made an impassioned appeal today at the World Economic Summit, calling President Putin's war in the region a threat to the free world. Putin hitting back, immediately claiming the initiative in the war is now with his forces. It comes as future U.S. military aid for Ukraine is stuck in Congress. The White House now saying the U.S. will make sure that Russia fails and Ukraine prevails, but that could largely hinge on what Congress does or doesn't do. ABC's Tom Soufi Burridge reports from Ukraine.
Readying, aiming, US-supplied firepower on the front lines in Ukraine. These M777 howitzers, a vital American tool for Ukrainian forces. And each gun firing thousands of rounds at Russian positions in a matter of months, covering troops storming Russian positions. But now Russia, with superior firepower, is on the front foot and is threatening a major new offensive just as the fate of more American military aid for Ukraine remains blocked by Congress.
Time is running out, and I'm damn serious to say that even if we run out of weapons, we will fight with shovels, because what is at stake here for Ukraine is the existence of this nation.
Our team taken to a Ukrainian artillery position near the front lines.
This is the M777, an American gun hidden in this woodland.
And shown their now scarce supply of artillery shells. Earlier in the war, the commander saying they could have had 200 rounds on any given day.
There's about 20 here.
Да.
Yeah. Is that a lot? Это много?
Это мало.
It's not. It's a tiny amount for you.
Да.
Just 20 shells.
They know every round must count.
Well, you can really feel the force of this American gun, but these Ukrainian artillery units are now having to limit the amount they fire because of the scarcity of ammunition.
Are more Ukrainian troops being wounded and killed, your comrades, because of the scarcity of ammunition?
Так, вона вже відбувається немаленький період часу.
Doctors taking shrapnel out of Volodymyr's back. At this medical stabilization point close to the front lines, they sometimes receive dozens of badly wounded men in a matter of hours. A long war and deep scars.
So all in all, I've seen, I think, like around 15,000 casualties.
15,000 casualties you've personally witnessed?
Yes. So I've long past the point where I emotionally react or I can assess the reality of what is happening.
Volodymyr was hit by a Russian drone while recovering the body of a comrade killed in action.
Везде потери, везде великі потери. Багато ранених, багато вже немає друзів.
And to the west in Dnipro, 23,000 badly wounded soldiers treated in this one hospital since Russia invaded. Nazar losing an arm to a Russian drone. Ukrainian casualties are mounting.
They're now bringing up to 100 heavily wounded Ukrainian soldiers to this one hospital in a single day. And that's a rise of up to 30%, say doctors, compared to a few weeks ago.
And the future of American support high on soldiers and doctors' minds.
Every day of like hesitation or some pauses, it's like dozens and hundreds of lives, which cannot ever be brought back.
US dithering about supporting Ukraine is costing that many lives, you believe?
Of course, definitely.
Ukraine now fortifying its lines of defence. A new Russian push could come in Kharkiv in the northeast, possibly ahead of Russian President Putin's expected re-election in March. Andrew Cox from Virginia suffering trauma to his brain while serving in the Ukrainian military, but promising to stay in this country whatever, saying American values are at stake.
Losing the war, then Ukraine disappears to Russia.
And what happens if Ukraine disappears as a country?
What does it mean for America? What does it mean for the world?
It's the loss of a free nation.
A democratic free nation?
Yes.
Ukraine now stepping up its own arms production, working to reduce its dependence on foreign weapons.
We're the first TV journalists allowed inside this secret Ukrainian arms manufacturing facility. The company spreads its production thinly across multiple sites because of the threat from Russian missiles and drones.
Here, they're testing mortar launchers, and these infantry vehicles built on the chassis and engine of a Ford SUV, which is fortified and armoured, ready for battle.
Foreign Minister, thank you very much.
Ukraine's top diplomat insisting more American weaponry for his country is money well spent and will deter other autocrats elsewhere.
The cheapest way to keep the world in order is to send weapons, not your own troops. And Ukraine has never asked for them. If the West is not able of stopping Russia in Ukraine, who else is it able to stop in other parts of the world?
China? You think China will...
I leave these answers to you. You have to reflect on this.
While some US politicians reflect, Ukrainian volunteers are working flat out to produce these rudimentary but deadly drones. Russia's exploding drones are now one of its most feared weapons. But a grassroots Ukrainian movement is battling to make as many of these flying bombs for their troops. Drones are now one of the war's key munitions. Ukrainian ingenuity also here in this secret workshop for those American artillery guns. These military mechanics fighting to keep each howitzer firing. They make some of the spare parts themselves, but for other pieces that need replacing, they rely on that US military aid.
You're here with US weaponry, day in, day out. What would you say to someone in the US who is questioning the value of that military support for your country?
Я кажу, то не люди просто, вони на цьому не зупиняться. Якщо вони візьмуть нас, вони підуть далі.
Our thanks to Tom Soufi Burridge from the front lines in Ukraine.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.